Hello, I'm Melissa with Zinc Meats and Fine Wines in Centerville. Today's weekly wine tasting is from Argentina. So we're going to go down to Argentina, where we're going to go to Zolo and Tapiz. They are the most highly technology wineries in Argentina. They also are the highest altitude, so they're on the mountain and the volcano hillsides, 6,800 meters from the sea level. So they're very high altitude, very hot temperatures, which is really what helps all of these cabs and Malbecs really grow and develop and get as big as they need to be. I'm excited because we haven't ventured outside of the United States in one of these yet, so I'm really excited about these tastings this week. So we're going to start with the Sauvignon Blanc. So the Zolo Sauvignon Blanc is a 2018. It strives for a citrus balance, grapefruit with white asparagus and grassy aromas, crisp and nice finish. So those are the tasting notes. So this, as you see, they talk more of the citrus side. They talk a little bit of the grapefruit. So it is going to be more of that New Zealand style, but it's going to be hotter. So mine's a little warmer than a lot of people drink Sauvignon Blancs. Sauvignon Blancs, unlike Chardonnays, should be drank a little bit more on the crisp, colder side versus the room temperature side. But mine being warm, I kind of like it. It brings out, you definitely get that grass, the acidity, the citrus right out of the gate. It's very beautiful, very balanced, nice and clear as you can see, but not overly grassy and not overly grapefruit. So it's not one of those that bite you when you try it. Very delicious, excellent. And I'll get to all the price points later on because they're all very well price pointed. Okay, so the Tapiz Malbec. So back to Tapiz again. This Malbec alone has been voted more years than I even know, at least 10. I counted up 10 different years and stopped counting. So for over 10 years, it has been voted for the best overall Malbec in the world. So that's a pretty big honor. Wine and Spirits is one of their top sellers, which is great. This wine is their staple wine. Their very front-entered wine. It is from Mendocino. All these are actually from Mendocino. 2017. Should be violet hues, fresh red and blue, spicy floral aromas, vanilla and toasted almonds, fruity balance with good volume, sweet tannins, gives a gentle and persistent finish. 94 points. So it got great points. Anytime you hear the word sweet, don't freak out and think it's a sweet wine. Most of the time, they're not. So this is actually a little bit bigger than I expected it to be. It's very juicy. It's very rich. There's beautiful blueberry notes in the front. But then there's that nice tannic kiss in the middle and a really nice finish. So what they mean by the sweet finish is that it's not an overly dry finish. So it's just a nice smooth velvety finish instead of that big tannic dry alcoholic finish. Delicious wine, $20 range. All right, so we're going on to the Malbec Zolo Malbec Reserve. So Tapiz and Zolo are both Argentinian wines. They're both owned by the same company and have been doing Malbecs in Argentina since the mid-1800s. So they're not new at the trade. They really know what they're doing. They've really perfected the art. They also have added an optimal sorting machine, which is very helpful for their area because you're going to have, being on that mountainside and the slopes, you're going to have really, really hot, quick ripening at the top and then slower ripening as you go down. And so it really gives them the opportunity to get the best grapes for the best bottle based on the tier of bottle that we're having. So this is, again, 100% Malbec. These are red mature fruits, flowers, combined with a touch of vanilla and chocolate. Smooth and sweet mouthfeel with velvety tannins. So it's kind of neat to try two different Malbecs side by side to where you get to see, what does this one taste like? What does that one taste like? And This one has a very different nose than the other one. A little bit more intense, a lot more dry. Has a bigger finish to it. A little bit of a spicy hues in there. There's some spice to it. Now, neither one of these Malbecs are considered what I would consider earthy Malbecs. So when you talk about Malbecs, a lot of times you talk about that they're earthy. Most Malbecs are earthy. They do have a little bit of the earth to them. You can always taste a little bit of their soil textures and all of those kinds of things, which is a wonderful, actually beautiful characteristics to Malbecs. And so for that, if it has that, it's a good Malbec. Some of them, however, can get dirty, which, depending on what you're eating or what you're doing, dirty can be a good thing. So we're going to move on to, Zolo, same tier as the Malbec that we were drinking. This is their Cabernet Reserve Estate Grown. So it is 100% Cabernet also, Mendocino. Clean aromas of berry and cassis. Loaded palate with tons of cherry, plum, blackberry flavors. Subtle notes of butter, dry spice, sauteed mushroom control on the finish. That's different. That's a unique characteristics. Anytime they give those big characteristics, it always makes you wonder, sometimes, can you smell that? So right out of the gate, you know it's Cabernet. It does have those big ripe fruit. It's got the Cabernet color. Sometimes it's harder to tell when you're looking at color when you're talking about wines from other countries because their soil types are so different and their climates are so different, and based on climate control, their grapes have a tendency to have just a little bit different coloration, and especially like if you look at Italian wines, those are always, most of them are more of the granite ruby color versus the purpley color. So this has got a nice beautiful color. Cabernet, absolutely. I do get a little bit of the plum right away, which is kind of nice. You don't always get that in a Cabernet. That's usually more of a Zin characteristic, but it does have a little bit of that plumness to it. Mushroom, I don't taste the mushroom, but it's definitely earthier, so it's definitely more dirty. It's a little chewy. Beautiful expression of an Argentinian Cabernet. Nice, dry, full mouthfeel. That's good. Okay, so the next two wines that we're going to talk about are a little bit more of their upper tier wines. So this first wine, okay, is 100%, this one is Malbec, Cabernet, Tempranillo, and Syrah. So Tempranillo, as we know, comes from Spanish grape. It's its origin. So obviously you would think that you would take that down south. It's the same climate. The color of this one is definitely more of a brownish red. It's got some alcohol in it with the legs on it. In the nose, you definitely get a little bit of that Malbec dirtiness to it. But there's also some spices in there. Big fruit. Deep purple tan staged with fresh blackberry, cassis, fig, and cinnamon aromas. On the palate, it is a blend of Malbec, Cabernet, Tempranillo, and Syrah. A wide and jammy, beefy berry cassis, black plum. Fleshy finish with enough tightness to focus. Drink through 2022. Oh, so we better drink this one soon. I think that's going to hold a lot longer than 2022. It's been open for a little while and it's still really tight, and it is big and it is beefy and juicy and full of flavor. It's delicious. I mean, they're all good, but this is absolutely delicious. Okay, now to the wine that I have not had out of all of these. It's called Black Tier. I know I should bring all the bottles over, but I haven't yet. So, all right. So Black Tier Malbec. It is 100% Malbec. This wine shows deep purple red colors with a nose that are present, delicate aromas of fig and dried red fruits with hints of flowers and methanol, which means it has a lot of alcohol in it. On the palate is sweet tannins, good density, licorice notes with a long creamy finish. Okay, so while we talk about that alcohol, I'm going to look it up. On the back of the bottle says Best of Argentina, 14.5. So not as big as you would think, based on their description, but my staff is laughing at me because they didn't put makeup on to be in the video today.
She's calling me mean. She said she's doing it by herself. You're so mean.
And so it has a huge, ginormous nose on this wine. It's rich, it's deep, it's dry. I'm sorry, you can even tell by me trying to talk that it was dry. It's a big purple, juicy color. There's real long, slow legs on it. It's very, very dense, very textured. It's a 2014. Just absolutely delicious. So this is, excuse me one second. Kristen, can you get me the invoice so I know how much the price points are? Sorry, so while we're doing that, we'll talk a little bit more about this wine. And so Black Tears, so it's the biggest wine that Tapiz makes. So as the winery is known as the best wines of Argentina, I keep calling it Argentinian like we live there, and that's where we're from. So, but their regular Malbec, 94 points all the time. This wine got 96 points. It is 100% Malbec from Mendocino, and this is on the volcanic mountain. So this is on the volcanic mountaintop at the top high out at 6,800 meters above sea level. It's pretty far up there. So those are our wines for the week. Delicious, wonderful. We are featuring 6 of them, and we're going to be having a wine tasting on Wednesday from 5 to 8 p.m. along with our rib special dinner. And you can either dine in, you can take it out. We still have our to-go flights available. Also, this weekend is Father's Day weekend, so we have 2 racks of ribs, red potato casserole, blackberry cobbler is our Father's Day special. And then join us next week for 7 regions of the world and 7 Cab Francs from those 7 regions. So I'm super excited about next week also with Brian DeMark. So talk to you soon, and cheers.